Anxious moments as PNP Vice Presidential candidates await outcome of elections. Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on air and online at onesportmedia.com. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Also this evening, the latest on Isaac and more persons to access healthcare at Cornwall Regional Hospital. There's also Saturday Sports Special and weather in this newscast, so stay tuned. The news in detail right after. Welcome back to Primetime News and a special welcome to viewers on onesportmedia.com. We begin with the latest on the People's National Party PNP vice presidential race. The voting process has ended at the National Arena in St. Andrew. It's a buzz with activities. 6 candidates are vying for the posts. We now join our reporter Anthony Lugg, who is at the National Arena. Anthony?
Has received 1,973. The 4 vice presidents who have been elected are comrades Damian Crawford, Michael Phillips, Wickham McNeil, and Philip Paulwell. Comrades, we have run a very good vice presidential campaign. You have conducted yourselves with dignity and decorum. We want to congratulate all 6 comrades who have run a fantastic race and to say to you, comrades, we remain one party, united in our objectives. Thank you very much for the way you have conducted this campaign, and I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow morning here at 10 o'clock when we have the public session of our conference. One love, comrades, one heart.
And not everybody like
the 4 vice presidents for the PNP here at the PNP's 80th conference. They are Philip Paulwell, Wickham McNeil, Damian Crawford, and Michael Phillips. It was pure excitement here at the National Arena today. I'm telling you, as you can hear just behind me, the supporters are in a good mood. They've been waiting anxiously for the results, and now I can tell you that the 4 candidates have been announced. Tomorrow morning, it will be the final day of the PNP's conference, and we'll be here and we'll give you that update. So it's back to you guys in studio.
Thank you very much, Anthony Lugg, our reporter at the National Arena, giving us a live update on the outcome of the PNP vice presidential elections. Meanwhile, Director of Elections Glaspole Brown says the day was incident-free. Mr. Brown said the polls opened at 10 this morning, and since then it has been quite smooth.
Approximately at 1 o'clock, 1,527 persons voted. That amount to about 50% of the electorate have voted so far, up to 1 p.m.
How has the process been like?
The process has been fairly smooth and orderly. We haven't had any problems this morning.
So what actually happened today at the National Arena? Here's a recap.
The People's National Party flags were flying high Saturday as over 3,000 delegates gathered at the National Arena in St. Andrew to vote for 4 vice presidents. The candidates were the incumbents Dr. Wickham McNeil, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, and Dr. Angela Brown Burke, as well as newcomers Michael Phillips, Philip Paulwell, and Damian Crawford. Ahead of the results, Mr. Crawford said whatever the outcome, he remains optimistic for the party.
I can't read what the outcome is because hugs don't mean vote. I know that I am well loved by the comrades and they have been showing a lot of emotion. If that emotion turns out into X's, then I should be in. If not, I think I ran a fair race, I ran a good race. I made a good platform for myself, but the others also did the same. And so people really have to choose 4 of the 6. So if we're in, I'm grateful and we have work to do. If we're out, we just have to remain iron like a lion in Zion.
Even before they knew the outcome, supporters of Dr. Burke were already claiming victory. The PNP president, Dr. Peter Phillips, was among delegates casting a vote today, and even hours before the contest was over, he expressed satisfaction with the manner in which the candidates handled the race.
Well, I am very proud of my party this morning, because what you are seeing here is the culmination of a campaign that has been conducted in the highest spirit of democracy. Everybody, all six candidates conducted themselves in a positive way. No one was pulling down anyone else.
Anthony Log, TVJ News.
In other news, the remnants of Isaac are forecast to be south of the island tomorrow. It's expected to produce an increase in rainfall, which may be heavy at times, especially during the afternoon through to next week. The Met Service says there will be showers and thunderstorms across eastern parishes tomorrow morning. Sections of most parishes will have widespread showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. The remnants of Isaac are currently producing unstable weather conditions across the southern section of Hispaniola. Meanwhile, PNP President Dr. Peter Phillips believes the final day of the PNP conference set for tomorrow will not be affected by the weather forecast.
I think the weather is going to be good from what I've been seeing, and in any event, we will be able to accommodate everyone who comes.
A public health crisis is looming in Douglas Castle St. Anne following weeks of heavy rains that left areas inundated with stagnant water. A call has been made for the St. Anne Public Health Department to step in and do vector control activities before the situation gets out of hand. TVJ's Shamela Pullen reports.
Heavy rains over the last few weeks caused water to settle in some areas of Douglas Castle St. Anne. And with more rains expected this weekend, the residents are even more worried. Councillor for the Calderwood Division, Paul McFarlane, says the stagnant water is now a breeding site for mosquitoes.
The place is infested with mosquito, and the water have becoming scenty. Right? Douglas Castle is an area that need urgent attention, very urgent attention, because the citizens there, I'm sure that they are not comfortable, and from time to time as rain start, they send me pictures of what is happening over in Douglas Castle.
Mr. McFarlane says despite calls for help, the Public Health Department is yet to address the matter.
We're coming out of a council meeting, and there was no representative from the health department in the meeting. So you can talk until you dry the sea, right? These matters will languish for an extended period of time. And when we come and make representation on the behalf of the people, we recognize what is happening within our space. So we want immediate attention.
Mr. McFarlane says he understands accessing the community can be a challenge, but he thinks an effort should be made as people's lives are at risk.
I just wish and hope that we can recognize that there are people who are living there and their health is of concern to all of us, because when they leave Douglas Castle and go into St. Anne's Bay, it's another challenge. Right? So we just need to mitigate against all the eventualities that will happen whilst we have the chance to do so.
When TVJ News contacted the St. Anne Public Health Department, Chief Public Health Inspector Leroy Scott told us that he's not aware of the matter, but when a report is made, the situation will be addressed. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
More people will be able to access healthcare services at the Accident and Emergency Unit at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. The unit was officially reopened on Thursday after it was relocated to be renovated.
Following months of rehabilitation work, the Accident and Emergency Unit at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James is now open to the public.
I am pleased to tell you that we have a nice building that we are going to be housing our patients who are waiting to be seen in. So, no more tents to be wasted in.
Senior Medical Officer at the hospital, Dr. Delroy Frey, says with this new unit, more persons are expected to access healthcare services. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, who was a part of the reopening exercise, says between January and July of this year, more than 25,000 people accessed services through the Accident and Emergency Department at the Mount Salem location.
Surgical procedures, 2,550, averaging 264 a day. Emergency surgeries, 785 over those 5-6 months. 112 a day, a month, elective surgery, 966, 138 average monthly. Day cases, 799, 114 monthly. We have delivered in those 6 months 1,786 babies.
Dr. Tufton says despite the challenges faced at Cornwall, progress is being made and soon everything will go back to normal.
If you have the unfortunate circumstance of having an emergency, don't avoid Cornwall Regional and lose your life. Give yourself a fair chance to be safe because they are here, the staff, the expertise are here providing those services.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
News from overseas right after this break.